Hello, and welcome to this episode of Say It Anyway. I'm parked, so the seatbelt comes off. I actually parked myself this time because I was feeling guilty about driving while doing it. That's an okay type of guilty, I think, because I am potentially doing something that's safer. That's fine. But you know what I've realized? And this video, I don't even know if it's for people to listen to or if it's just for me to say the words out loud. If it's for me to say it anyway. But guilt is what I feel constantly. I feel guilty when I'm not working. I feel guilty knowing that there's other people in my life that may need some help or could use some companionship and I'm not there for them. I feel guilty just in general. Now, you could be like, well, is it because of your privilege? Like, yes, obviously there's some level of guilt that comes from that. But then I feel guilty about not using it to the fullest or not spending my free time doing something that's productive or not spending my free time being okay. So then I'm guilty about feeling guilty, which is great. And it made me think, is it productive? Is guilt healthy? And is guilt good to experience? I think to some degree, feeling guilty is good, right? So like, if you just slash someone's tires or ruin someone's life completely by an action you chose to do, it's good to feel guilty about that. But so often I find myself, or maybe some other people in my life, feeling guilty because they may not be working, or feeling guilty being okay, or trying to be happy, or trying to find things to bring themselves a little bit of joy when other things aren't figured out yet. Like this idea, like until I have this other thing figured out, until I'm at a certain point in my career, until I've figured out which partner I'm going to be with, until I know all of these answers, then I'm not allowed to be okay. And I don't know about you, but it just sounds like feeling guilty about thinking positively or feeling guilty about wanting to be okay isn't needed. Thinking that isn't going to stop it. Like, I'm not suddenly going to stop feeling guilty all the time. But if I can tell myself, hey, you know, you feeling guilty right now doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help others. It doesn't help your friends or family. Like, feeling guilty in this moment for not knowing what to do, or for wasting the day away, or for maybe spending too much money on something. Feeling guilty about it at this time wouldn't really, it's not helping. So this message is for me to say it anyway to myself, but you know, feeling guilty about maybe not reaching a point of fame that I think would be helpful to deliver this message. I feel guilty about that. I feel guilty about some other things, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. What's the point? You know, it's like, do some things to be productive, but then spend the rest of your time or other parts of your time being okay, and that's fine. I felt a little guilty not making a video in a little while, which is why this topic came up. So if you're the type of person that feels guilty, just think about what you want for other people. And I want you to apply that rule to yourself. So whenever somebody goes on vacation or you hear about that, don't you always say like, have fun, or like, oh, you should have a good time. Or if you have time off, you should enjoy yourself, right? So the things that we want for other people, we should want for ourselves and not feel so guilty about that. So I'm going to try not to feel guilty. When it flares up, I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to say it out loud. I'll acknowledge, like, hey, you're feeling guilty again. You don't have to. And if you want to try that too, then I'm on your team with you, and maybe we can support each other that way. But all right, I'm going to go because I feel guilty about this video being too long without having as much content. All right, bye.